We
The
push
button's
buttons.
been pushed. We're about to start the show. The button's been
No,
pushed.
we did start the show.
The show.
The show started.
The show
I was
has
letting Lewis have the theme
started.
song.
The show started.
The show has started. Introductions. Here we go.
Welcome to the Poster Rip Podcast. I am Elijah.
I'm Ken, hello.
I'm Tyler.
Yeah.
Lewis fell down.
Lewis has fallen.
Lewis? Lewis?
Yes.
You dead?
Okay. No. I opened a box so I can get me a buble.
Oh, okay. Get your boob.
All right, boys. All right. Well, let's start the show, guys.
Yeah, we introduce ourselves. We are the
I
Poster
already
Men.
did.
Yep.
What do we do?
We talk about movies that we want to talk about.
Ah.
What we do.
And
And
what
we
did
talk about other entertaining things. And we're talking about sci-fi movies today.
What movie were we supposed to watch?
The Terminator.
What movie were we supposed to watch?
Lewis didn't read that message.
Lewis watched the wrong movie, and I never had
Lewis
time.
watched The Fly.
This is why we text you these things.
And I didn't have time to watch the movie.
So, Elijah
just you and
I
me,
watched
buddy.
the movie.
Yep.
But
Cool.
I
You
You
did
don't know
watch
I've never
Amos,
seen
but
The Terminator?
He still
Lewis
hasn't.
I still haven't seen the Terminator, but I at least watched a movie. You
He
see what I'm
did.
saying?
He
I
watched The
still
Fly. He's all set. He did better than Tyler.
So,
Yeah.
so
Lewis at least gave an effort.
unlike Tyler,
Who gave nothing. He gave nothing to this endeavor.
Yep. I'm a big
but-
sack of steaming shit.
Yep, but we did The Terminator. That was the first Terminator, not T2, which is the more famous cousin of Terminator,
it's
or
the better
any of the
Terminator.
Terminators.
It's
Yes.
the best of the Terminators.
I will agree with that. In my ranking of Terminators, it probably goes T2. I'm in the Salvation liking group, so I like
Me
Salvation.
too. Me too. Pick me.
Which
Pick
one?
me.
Wait, is Salvation with Christian Bale?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, that one was dope.
Yeah. Other people hate that one. They call
I
that
don't
one the
know.
worst.
Well, most people agree that 3 is the worst.
Oh no,
And they're-
Genesis
and
is
they're-
the worst.
And okay, no, you're right. Genesis is the worst.
Is that the one with Daenerys from
Yes,
Game of Thrones?
Game of
Yes.
Thrones.
Yes.
Then yes, I will say that's the worst. Never watched it because I saw the trailers and I was like, you know what? I don't want it to ruin because I like Terminator 3. Even Terminator 3 was all right.
Terminator 3 goes below this one, in my opinion. Oh no, it goes below Dark Fate. I like Dark Fate more than I like T3.
Yeah, Dark Fate was solid. It wasn't great, but it was solid.
Dark 3 sits around the middle with this
right,
one.
whereas T3 is kind of bad.
Yeah.
I honestly can't remember T3.
That's part of why it's that's part of the problem.
I remember that Judgment Day. I think comes at the end.
That's a great point, Ken. That is perfect. You're like, yeah, that's probably why it's ranked the way it is.
I think I remember
you don't
that.
remember being bad, but you don't remember being good either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
I remember
very
that
true.
Judgment Day comes, and the entire point in the movie was to get John Connor and the girl that he falls for in the movie into a bunker, but you don't find that out till the end of the movie that it's
Yeah.
that Arnold's
Oh, yeah,
only there to
because-
get them into a bunker to save
And
their
that-
life from the event.
Right.
Yeah, I
And
remember,
I think
and
that's
then Arnold was supposed to listen to the girl and not the guy, because remember, like she was the one who could control the Terminator.
Right,
Maybe.
because she sent it back.
Yeah,
Because it was the one that killed John Connor, so John Connor wasn't alive to send it back. Because it was picked because of the events of T2, he has this affinity for the 500 or 101 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Whatever model it is that the Arnold model is.
The T001, as I call it.
Is that what it was? I thought it was the T500.
It might be. You might. I don't remember.
It's 100 in this movie. I don't remember if they get the upgrade. If it gets the upgrade in T2 or not.
But
Gotcha.
this is the baby of them all, the start of them all,
Yes.
the lead of a franchise that never really got off its feet after 2. But Ken, plot synopsis and cast list, and go.
In the 21st century, a weapon will be invented like no other. This weapon will be powerful, versatile, and indestructible. It can't be reasoned with. It can't be bargained with. It will feel no pity, no remorse, no pain, no fear. It will have only one purpose: to return to the present and prevent the future. This weapon will be called the Terminator.
You're dead, honey.
I'm here to help you. I'm Reese, DN 38416, assigned to protect you. You've been targeted for termination.
Why does it want me? Why me?
Arnold Schwarzenegger is the Terminator. Your future is in its hands.
Yeah.
A human soldier is sent from 2029 to 1984 to stop an almost indestructible cyborg killing machine sent from the same year, which has been programmed to execute a young woman whose unborn son is the key to humanity's future salvation.
So which one were we watching again?
The first one, T1.
Got it.
Terminator
T1
1.
with a fusion, with a little side, with a little bit of the dressing of the fly on top.
with a Susan on a fly.
Yeah.
And a douse of failure.
You know,
A dollop of failure.
you know?
I had the DVD sitting right here just because I knew you might have not seen it.
Oh, you know, I've always wanted to see it though. Like it always intrigued me because I remember watching T2 and being like, oh my goodness, Arnold is so awesome in this, and I love that Terminator. And then someone was like, yo, dude, he's like the bad guy in the first one, and I'm like, what? And yeah, so.
Yep, it's one of the things people forget about the whole franchise is that Arnold is the bad guy to start this whole thing.
Right.
Like he is the problem in the start of this. But the cast list is
Arnold.
well, Arnold. Arnold as the Terminator. Linda Hamilton is Sarah Connor, and who plays
Was
Kyle
this
Reese?
Behan.
Was this Linda
Also
Hamilton's
known
like
as-
first big role?
Johnny Ringo from Tombstone.
That's where I'd seen him before. It was driving me kind of nuts.
Did you say Tombstone?
And he's also a bishop in or not bishop. He's in Aliens too, bro. Or
I know.
Aliens, I should say.
Yeah, and he's also in that Tom Cruise movie.
Playing with the boys?
That
No,
Tom
no.
Cruise movie.
Oh,
No, he's in that Tom Cruise movie where they keep repeating the same day. And wasn't he also in another
Edge
movie
of
with Arnold
Tomorrow?
Schwarzenegger? Wasn't he also in another movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger where he sells the car, where it's him. He's like a spy, and then like his wife is also with him. What's her face? She was the
True Lies? I don't think he's in True Lies. That's Bill Paxton.
Oh, there we go. Bill Paxton.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Bill Paxton.
There we go. Dude, he
I was like,
awesome.
wait a minute, he's not. I think he's thinking Bill Paxton.
Yeah,
And then
because
I was
Bill
like-
Paxton was in Aliens as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll say
Yes,
a few
Bill
words. Say a
Paxton
word.
is an alien.
God rest your soul, Bill Paxton.
So that's where I
Yeah,
was
rest
getting
in
it from,
peace,
because
Bill
I was
Paxton.
thinking,
Wait, he's dead?
Yeah, Bill
Yes.
Paxton.
Oh, okay.
Game over, man. Game over is dead.
Moment of silence for our last Bill Paxton.
He died an awful long time ago.
yeah.
Well,
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Agents of
awful
S.H.I.E.L.D. was in
Mo-
season 1.
Moment of
A few
silence!
years ago.
We already had the moment of silence.
A few years ago.
Yeah.
Who says we all have to have it at the same time, Tyler?
Alright, that's fair. I'll just
But-
cut it in now.
So the bad stuff takes place 9 years in the future from now.
Yes.
So I'm like, oh, I guess there's still time to get these flying cars, these robots, these.
Yeah, hey man, Skynet could come at
Nope.
any time.
We're screwed.
I mean,
Yeah.
The Rona put us back many years.
with technology,
that's
I
good.
doubt it. I feel like if anything, Corona has sped up to do robotics so that they could be like, yeah, let's, like people could stay at home and just have robots do everything. I mean, have you seen how many more automated shit is going on? Did you see like what Boston Dynamics is doing with these robots now? They have like a spy robot that can jump like 60 feet in the air, like you could just jump over small buildings.
Well, that's useful for nobody.
What do you mean for nobody? That's extremely useful.
What's he gonna do? What? Hey, robot! I'm bored. Go jump over that thing for me, cause
I mean, you could use it to jump and check your roof to see if there's any leakage on your roof,
we've,
or whatnot.
we've drones
You
for
could,
that. You don't need a robot for that.
I mean, you probably, to use your drone, you need to have the right certification, the licenses, and the requirements to fly that drone. If you could even fly, you have to register it. If you just use that machine, you can just jump it up and bam. You don't have to ask anybody's permission to jump a vehicle, like a small little droid that's, on wheels.
They're gonna make you
onto your own
register
roof.
that stuff.
Oh Lord! All right,
So,
but
Well,
then we
back-
get our traditional Terminator music, which is my favorite thing. I even have that written down. Da-da-da-da-da. Good old Terminator music.
wait. Okay. There was two different beats going on. Okay, Tyler did a beat, and then you did a beat, Elijah. So, can one of you just do your beat first, so I could hear which one sounds better?
Do
and then I
Elijah's.
can
This is
judge it?
probably more correct.
Yes, mine's better. Da-da-da-da-da.
He actually watched the movie.
I did.
Okay. And what's the one that you and what's the one that you did, Tyler?
Ba-dum-bum-bum-dum.
You know what? They're both good. They're both good. And if I hadn't watched Terminator, I would say, Tyler, you did a very good futuristic Terminator impression.
Well, thank you, Lewis. That means a lot.
You're welcome.
Only the 80s can save us. Well, that was the heyday of most action movie stars. So,
What was the budget on this movie?
now you're gonna ask me questions I don't have the answer to.
Yeah, I don't know.
Give me a second.
Let me see if it's not usually readily available on the IMDb, but sometimes it is. Let me check.
I'm checking Box
Okay.
Office Mojo.
Google, what was the budget on the original Terminator?
Well, yeah. What was that? And how much did it gross?
It says 6.4 million.
Yeah, box
the
office
budget.
budget 6.4. Opening weekend it made 4. Total
Ooh.
gross USA 38.
Wow.
Huh.
Cumulative
great
worldwide gross
investment.
pushing 80, 78 and a half.
How did this movie get a sequel?
The number I'm reading here, like I'm assuming this is worldwide.
The US gross? It made 6 times its money back, bro.
That's true. If the budget was only 6.4.
That's what I'm saying.
It looks
That's
fancy
a
for
great
6.4.
investment.
Yeah.
Did it win any awards for
Well,
like?
this is 6.4, 1984 dollars, but
That's probably over 100 million in today's currency.
Today's currency. That's how much it would cost.
In today's inflation. Yeah, but now how much? But like, so did the movie win any awards for its like costume design or makeup design at all?
I don't think so, but I'm double checking for you there, Lewis.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Look at-
I guess I should have.
I'm in
I should have
Indaba.
researched it.
No, it did not win awards.
It didn't?
Oh wait, 7 wins and 6 nominations.
I was gonna say it has
It won a bunch of. It won a
oh.
bunch of like sciencey awards.
Saturn Awards.
Yeah, it won a Saturn award. Like
What
none
is
of the
it?
big ones.
It won the
Gotcha.
DVD exclusive awards in 2001. And the Yoga Awards in 2004 for the worst trilogy.
What the? Well, that is true. Oh no, not T2. Boo. That's not true. T2 is amazing. T2 makes up for all the shit that Terminator 3 is.
All right, so
well,
let's
that's
get
part of the
back
reason
to.
why, like, Terminator 3 feels worse than it is because T2 is so good.
Yeah.
T2 is great. Enter Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he is nude, and is okay with being nude, well, because he is Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I remember that part. I'm like, that man is naked. I did watch this at a young age.
You would.
I remember he was naked, and I was like, why is he naked?
Well, was your
Because-
dad like that? He's packing heat, Bubba.
Oh, like
Because
I think,
inorganic material can't come through.
I'm pretty sure the response was, because, just shut up and watch the movie. I'd never listened.
Kyle Reese has come, our one true savior from the future, and he also needs pants, so he steals it from a homeless guy.
And the Terminator kills 3 people to get some clothes, and Kyle Reese assaults 1 hobo to get pants.
Yep. Everybody's stealing clothes. Opening 20 minutes of the movie, everyone's stealing clothing.
Thieves, bunch of thieves, scoundrels.
Those
Enter the
scamps.
future's own. Enter the future's only hope, Sarah Connor.
Why was she the only hope?
Because she creates John Connor. And John Connor is
Wait a second. But there are 3 cop cars involved trying to chase down 1 vagrant because Kyle Reese assaults a hobo to get it, and there happens to be a cop by, and then next thing you know, there's 3 cop cars chasing Kyle Reese. It seems like a misappropriation of police resources to me.
Yeah, then
Maybe
Sarah
they were
can't get a cop on the phone. That's what
Right.
drove me nuts. I was like, what?
Right, and then Sarah gets the runaround when people are when like someone the memo should have gone down to the police operator, say, hey, if somebody named Sarah Connor frickin' calls, send her right to me because she's the target of somebody she's getting shot at. Like what?
Hey guys, give me 1 second. My wife is calling me.
Okay, we'll keep talking now. I need to terminate. I must buy guns like they are candy. So he goes to the gun store, and then just was like, I want that gun, that gun, that gun, that gun, and then the guy just leaves bullets on the counter.
Yeah. Why do gun stores always do this in movies? Have shotgun ammo right there on the counter so the bad guy can load the gun and shoot him with it. Like, that's not a good choice.
I was like, oh boy.
Either if you have the shotgun ammo on the table, that's fine. Don't hand the gun over to the bad guy.
Yeah.
That's just prudent.
It was a bad day to be named Sarah
Hello.
Connor. Hi.
Welcome back, Lewis.
He's muted, I think, again. But
Oh.
it's because because the Terminator has the phone book page and is going down the list of Sarah Connors. Like it's a bad day to be named Sarah Connor.
Moral of the
hear me?
story.
Yes, I can hear you, Lewis.
Okay, sorry.
No problem. The moral of the story.
Moral of the story. Give all your kids middle names that start with Z's.
I'm in. Let's do it. They'll save their lives in the end.
Yes.
Explain?
The Terminator that goes through a list of Sarah Connors in the phone book
The
and
first one
starts
he
at the
killed
top.
was Sarah and Connor.
Yeah. And
They
so he
just
kills.
knew her name in the city that she was in, so...
They go to the city and then he starts killing Sarah Connors.
Gotcha. He's just killing every single Sarah Connor he can find.
Yep.
Right.
Ooh.
But there's stuff where I get to, I'm like, wow. In a couple of years, these Terminator, I have that written down later on. I said, wow, a couple of years, these Terminators get high tech. They know everything about Sarah Connor. They can manipulate faces, voices, everything. But
Well,
then
they
he
can do
manipulates
voices in
voices
that
later.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he didn't do that in the beginning. So I was like, oh, why didn't he just manipulate the voice? But I was like, maybe he can't do that. And then he does it later, and I'm like,
one
oh,
of those
okay.
things where he can mimic a voice once he hears it, but he has to hear it first.
Mhm.
You think he has to hear him talk a couple sentences before? Or is it just, just a couple words and it's like, all right, I've got it?
If I get anything from some of the people that I killed in this movie, it was probably a couple of words.
But Lauren asked an interesting question. How does he know how to use a phone book?
So he figured he got all that placed. It's all on the internet.
Yeah.
But this is pre-internet, bro.
Yeah, but after the internet, like the internet's
No,
in the
thing is,
future.
the internet did not exist when this movie was made.
Yeah. But I meant now we're talking now. So by thought process.
But in this movie, how did he know to use a phone book?
Because in the future they knew that they would need to read the phone book.
So the machine knew about phone books, despite
Yes.
the fact that they had blown everybody up.
Yes.
They knew about phone books. Okay.
I mean, you don't think
All
phone
right.
books are part of history?
Like whatever the computers kind of like know now is what I'm kind of going with. Like, hey, maybe they know. So if it's on the internet, I'm just assuming that they would know.
You know what happens when you
Oh,
assume,
the
right?
'80s hair. There's
There is
so
some
much
very
80s
80s
hair.
in this movie. Yep.
In the future, the robots would have better tech. Some of this doesn't make sense.
Someone's mugging Lewis. Yep, they've thrown him in the car or taken him away.
What do you mean the robots would have better tech?
Like they just start to evolve, and then it just seems like that they all get better and better and better and better. Like they said to start, they sent the weakest Terminator to go kill Sarah Connor. I'm like, why not right after another? You send the latest one.
Because they only had the one shot, and so they had to do it now.
Ah. But then we find out in future movies
This
they
was
did.
the most advanced Terminator at the time.
Wait, wait. Isn't
Is it what?
Okay.
I don't think Lewis is talking to us anymore, guys.
Okay. Is she listening to a Walkman while having sex with that guy?
Yes,
She is. I was like,
You know she is.
The Terminator breaks a lot of rules of time travel. That's all I have to say. Because he kills all these other random people.
Oh yeah.
And
and
like,
if
do
any
I
of those
keep-
were
I keep-
important, it violates the space-time continuum.
Yeah. So like I'm like, what if that person was supposed to be like the architect for your leg, Terminator? Do you just then fall down?
The machines design themselves.
Oh, that's true. Oh, but I was like, this movie just is breaking time travel all over the place. Like all of those cops die. So many just random civilians die.
Yeah, like that whole police precinct that the Terminator shoots up.
Yep, my note is bye bye cops. But I have written down for the next thing, because she gets to the dance club because John Connor's following her. Not John Connor. Kyle Reese is following her.
Yeah.
And
Wait, so Kyle Reese is John Connor's father, correct?
spoiler alert. Yes.
Spoiler alert.
Well, oh my goodness! Is it really a spoiler? Isn't the movie like 30 years old?
Yeah.
28. No,
But you're-
30, 35.
But we haven't gotten to that point yet, Lewis.
Okay, all right. I redact my statement, and I will wait. I will wait to air that out. Tyler, please remove that from.
Stricken
The
that
record?
from the record.
Kyle
Um,
Reese, casual stalker.
Yeah.
And I have Kyle Reese, the most unassuming guy on the block, manages to attract the attention of the woman he's following. Convenient? Probably.
Yep. I was like, is it because he's wearing a trench coat?
It's because it's in the script.
Yeah.
That's right.
And then she calls the cops and calls her roommate, who the Terminator has already shot. And
Yeah, it's interesting that she makes 2 phone calls to people in her life, and both times gives away her location to the Terminator.
yeah. Well, the first time was by accident. The second time, she legitimately told the Terminator where they were because she thought it was her mom.
Right.
I'm assuming it was her mom.
Yeah, it was her mom. He intercepts the phone call on the way to because he finds out that the mom has a cabin somewhere.
Yeah, because he takes her address book from her house.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
There again, how do the machines know about address books?
Future!
And then the Terminator got to that club so fast.
Maybe did he have a GPS? Did he just know the shortcuts?
No, because that was another thing. Like, in the future, all those robots like have tracking tech and like can instantly pinpoint where the person that they're hunting for is. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what is happening?
The heat vision in this movie seems to be a little bit hit or miss. Yes.
Yeah. Whereas, like in the next couple of movies, they can't run away that fast. I'm like, if they did a good job of like going to a hotel, eliminating all communication, Arnold could be wandering around that state for a long time. But because she made a phone call, that's how they were able to find her.
Dumb broad.
Yeah. Famous line said by Kyle Reese first. Come with me if you want to live.
If you want to live.
Uh-huh. And then she does. Take my hand.
Before we started watching this movie, I said to Lauren, "Come with me if you want to live."
And what'd she say?
She wasn't sure that she had seen this movie beginning to end, so she just kind of rolled her eyes and laughed at me.
Happens to the best of us, Ken.
Yeah, it's all right.
Kyle Reese's response: "Don't do anything unless I say so."
Controlling. What am?
Yeah.
What
She
a...
wants
That doesn't
to
make you
complicate
seem any
Doctor.
less crazy.
Hey, Elijah,
Like if you're what?
don't jump off this bridge until I tell you to.
Okay. But like, it doesn't help to sell that he's not insane by being like, "Here, no, duck, no, move."
It doesn't sell that he's not insane, but it does sell that he's not interested in killing her. It does sell that he doesn't want to hurt her.
Mm-hmm. And now we get my favorite shots that I would like to call Arnold in the movie Drive, where we get to see Arnold Schwarzenegger behind a car, clutching the steering wheel and just staring at things. And I'm like, this shot is awful, and it reminds me of the movie Drive, and I hate the movie Drive.
What?
I hate Drive. It's boring.
How could you?
Very easily.
It's a
I'm
great
sorry.
Because they
movie.
talk too much. It's
You don't
because they
even know what
probably
it
talk too
is.
much to Drive.
How do you know?
Because I do.
You're right. I don't know what it is.
I was about to say, who's in it, Tyler?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Wrong.
Goose.
The Gooch?
Ryan Gosling.
Goose. Ryan Gosling.
Oh. Hey, Ryan Gosling's in The Drive.
No, the.
It's not The Drive, it's just Drive.
Oh.
Drive. You just listen. You sound like you want to be like an old man who's trying to be hip. Hey kids, you watch the movie The Drive
Louis, I am an old man.
with the Ryan Gosling?
Hey, Sonny, hey, come on here. I'll show you the movie. It's called The Drive.
It's got that cat from that movie, the Notebook or something like that. Yeah, that cat.
It's the Brian Goosling.
But for a movie advertised as like an action movie, I have written down it's not. It takes a while to get the action going because there's a lot of story. Like in the first couple of minutes, there's like little pieces of action, but not a whole action set piece until this chase scene.
Yeah, finally. A safe place, a parking garage, a new car, and some exposition are in order.
Mm-hmm.
What car was it?
Car.
It was an old Cadillac. Well, the one that they had been driving was a Ford, they say. I didn't get a good enough look at it, but I think they switch into a Cadillac, but
Ooh, they
it gets
upgraded.
beat up very, very fast.
Oh.
They taped over his eyebrows. They thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
No one should ever tape their eyebrows.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's good. It makes it makes Arnie look unsettling. It was a good move, but it's not a good, like, it's a good choice, but it's not a good makeup job. So.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, I see.
It's in the parking garage that I've written down. Does Sarah Connor believe this homeless man, or does she believe the homeless man is crazy? AKA Kyle Reese.
I've met some homeless men. Some are not crazy, some are. It's a 50-50 shot.
Yes, but this one's actually not crazy, but
It turns
he
out.
just sounds crazy.
Oh, well, I sound crazy 90% of the day.
Yeah, but you're not telling somebody that they're going to bring about the only hope of the future, and there's a robot after you, and they're from the future, and somehow you're getting shot at because your name just happens to be Sarah Connor.
I could start.
Well, the newsman told her that.
Yeah. Did she pay for that pizza, by the way? That's what I had written down earlier that I just didn't think was necessary.
Which pizza?
She was in a shop and she was eating pizza. That's where she hears the news about the 2 Sarah Connors that were dead, and she jumps up and says, "Turn that up!"
She was already in there, so I assume she paid for the pizza.
But then she just walks out. So I was like, "Did she pay for the pizza?"
She probably
Well,
paid
I
for
mean-
it before. It was probably one of those, you pay for it when you order it, and then they deliver it to your table, or they call your number or whatever. And
Isn't that what we do when we go to Vinny's? We pay for the food and then we eat it?
That's
yes.
true. That's true. That's why I did bring
I have
that
a
note
question.
up.
I have a question,
question?
guys. Okay. Do you think that all these people that the Terminator is killing now, in the past, shouldn't it be somehow changing his future instantaneously?
Yeah, that's what I had written. That's what we were talking about earlier. I think you were walking away.
You were getting kidnapped.
Oh.
Yeah. I had said that all the people that they were killing, he's breaking all these rules of time travel. Because in theory, they should be breaking some sort of time paradox.
Yeah.
But, like, the only time travel movie that matters, Avengers Endgame tells me, all time travel movies are wrong.
Got it.
Time is a flat circle, after all.
Yep. That is what Avengers Endgame has told me.
Yeah. Do you like their theory the best or no?
It's fine. It's a workable theory, and if I want to go with any movie, I'm going to go with currently the movie that I watched, the most recent that had time travel that I enjoyed the most. Because Back to the Future's timeline just is so wacky. So, where was I? Sarah learns a lot in these next couple minutes. Her friends are dead. She's about to bring about the Messiah. She could be the only savior. She has to save. The world's going to end. Robots are going to rise. I said she learns a lot. Her brain has exploded.
Let's see.
Because now we're in the police station.
Let's see.
And then I don't remember other Terminators having to stop to repair themselves.
I have some notes about that scene. Who would win in a fight, Ultron or Skynet? Because it's one of those things you're tapped into the internet for 30 seconds and both decided that humans needed to die.
It's my favorite thing is that Skynet instantly is like, I see what the problem here is. It's people. And then just kills it. And Ultron's like, I see what the problem is. It's people.
Oh yeah, okay. If it's all fun and games, I said, and she finds out I have Kyle and Sarah get arrested. Arnie gets away.
Mhm.
And she finds out her roommate, Rumi, has been killed. It's all fun and games until Arnie shows up and shoots the joint up. Because I remembered that happens. I have
the cops' famous last words. There's 30 cops here.
His stealth programming is all over the place. He's walking around chill, sneaking into workshops that happen to have exactly what he needs to repair himself. But then he's like just like blowing shit up. Like he's not really interested in stealth.
No.
And it's shocking that he's able to like just sort of be a figment of Kyle Reese's imagination for so long.
Yes.
That's very good fake Arnie face. It's obviously fake, but still very good. The cutting back and forth between real Arnie and fake Arnie really sells it. No wonder James Cameron has such a bright future.
Bright the future.
No wonder he makes No wonder he makes blue cats.
Yes.
And soon underwater cats.
Yes.
Underwater cats?
Yep, that's the next one.
That's what Avatar 2 is supposed to be.
It's like Titanic and Avatar met.
Wait, what?
It's
Really?
underwater. It's underwater Na'vi in the next Avatar.
Oh my gosh! You know what? I'm hoping for the best, but I'm expecting the worst.
Yep.
Oh, I'm not hoping for anything because the first one's bad. So.
Oh, I like the first one.
The first one's bad.
What? The first one's just Blue Pocahontas.
The first one is 20 minutes where you're like, wow, this is beautiful. And then you're like, okay, now give me some story. Because beauty can only keep me held for so long. And then the story just doesn't stick.
That's what I mean. The movie's exactly like Pocahontas, broski.
I'd give it 4 stars.
Yeah, you haven't seen it in years. Give it a rewatch. Does that one cop actually believe Kyle Reese? Because he seems to be like interested in hearing what he has to say. But then that doesn't pay off because he gets shot.
Oh.
Another famous line coming up from
I'll be back.
From Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'll be back, and then he drives a car to the police station.
I'll be back in a few seconds with a car to crush you.
Ha ha! Goodbye. Then I have famous last words.
And they don't try and move for someplace safer, more secure. You know, with bulletproof walls or anything.
Car-proof walls.
Well, no, he can only drive the car so far into the building, for crying out loud. You can't drive a car upstairs.
He only killed one guy with a car.
Right.
You've not seen me play GTA.
GTA is not this Terminator movie, bro. We're not talking about GTA, we're talking about this Terminator movie, bro.
I'm sorry, Ken.
You better be sorry, bro.
I'm sorry, bruh.
Calling
Yeah,
you
bruh.
out.
Bruh.
Straight arming a Spaz 12 is pretty impressive.
Famous last words. There's 30 cops in here. You're safe. My favorite is one cop gets shot while eating a donut.
Oh, that's the worst way to go.
Well, that was stupid, cop guy. The boss shoots him with an assault rifle and gets shot for his trouble. And now you try it. Same thing happens. Stupid.
Hey, you shot my friend after he shot you. I'm gonna shoot you. Oh no, you've shot me.
He was wearing Kevlar. That's why this didn't kill him. I was like, nope. It's because he's a robot.
Yeah, I mean, that was a somewhat legitimate potential excuse. Because you know, heavy plate, heavy armor will stop shotgun shell or will stop buckshot. But
Is that what the police rounds are? Buckshot?
probably, yeah. I actually looked into that because I wasn't sure. Most basic police shotgun rounds, if shotgun rounds are being deployed, are buckshot. Yes. Some use slugs, some use like beanbag rounds or riot control rounds, or like non-lethal rounds. But that was a modern reading, not necessarily a 1984 reading.
Probably kind of the same. I expected to be
Right.
buckshot.
Well, and you know, the shining virtue of a shotgun is you can run so much different ammunition through it.
Yes.
Another line coming up. The future.
Are you ashamed to be seen in an American classic?
What?
I said, are you ashamed to be seen in an American classic? There's a couple of Pintos in this movie.
Oh.
Oh.
I know nothing about cars.
Well,
I'm
see,
glad you
that
had-
joke was funnier when more of us have seen it and have watched Losers as many times as I have.
I've not.
Oh, petunias.
Go Petunias!
Have I watched Losers? Did we podcast
Yes.
that?
Yes,
We
yes,
did. It was one of my first picks.
I
It was
don't
like
remember
the
it.
second podcast.
Yeah, you got me. You like tricked me into one of the things in the because I remember I think it's one of the movies where I did see some of it, but then you got me good. You did a joke, like an inside joke on it, and you were like, I can't believe you fell for that, Lewis.
My old man brain is not remembering well.
I remember we did that to you once, but I don't think it was for the Losers.
I'll have to go back. I'll have to listen to it. I'll have to help my memory work its thing stuffs.
Work its thing
Okay.
stuffs.
Yep, the thing stuffs.
You have fun with that.
Sounds
Yep.
painful.
That's good. Probably will be.
But the line that gets said next is the future is not set. It's another line that's said in so many movies. And then we go back to the future for some reason, and I was like, hey, this future doesn't look like Salvation.
That is true, but that's the thing. Like, that's what we learn is all they do is delay Judgment Day.
Yeah. Everything they do just delays it. Judgment Day is
Right.
inevitable. It's
Judgment
like
Day
Thanos.
is inevitable.
So many dead family and friends of Sarah Connor's, because Sarah's mom's dead.
All the sadness.
And
Just
then
like a
now we're getting to
bloodline
one of
was.
Lewis's favorite parts, where I have written
Oh.
down my joke. Come on, Kyle, let's make us a messiah. And I feel pregnant. That's what I have written down.
I feel pregnant.
TT count 1.
Yep.
I
he
missed
fell in
boobies.
You
he
did.
fell in love with her photo. That's not creepy. Not at
Oh, yeah.
all.
Oh
It was
man.
weird. It
Now
was
she's going
so-
to bed him.
Yep. After like 3 hours of knowing him.
Yeah, well, it's because she found out that he's a virgin, and that's just super hot.
That's super hot. Kyle, come on.
God damn it, Kyle.
I mean, how often? Seriously, how often does a woman get the opportunity to deflower a man?
Well, Terminator 1.
Thinking. I'm thinking. I'm thinking. I don't think very often, Ken.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
Ken's got a point
It's
here.
It's a rare opportunity. Sarah would have been foolish to pass up on it.
He's just gonna go back to the future soon anyway.
Right.
Kyle, you got shot, exploded, and in a car crash. How are you still moving?
Because he's a Terminator.
'Cause it's in the script.
Because now there's a lot of action set pieces I don't have a lot of notes for.
Things
She
blew
wrecks him
up.
off the bike. He gets run over by a big rig, and then steals the big rig.
Because I start writing notes like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Ouch, your explosion cannot hurt me. Well, I'm on fire. Psych, still alive.
Best
Was a
handling
very-
truck ever. Because they run down an alley, and the truck drives past them, and then all of a sudden it's behind them. I'm like, how did that truck do that?
Magic. Movie
he
magic.
doesn't lose the tank or anything. It's still there. You know, it would have been one thing if he'd have dropped the tank and just bobtailed it, but nope.
Sarah
Skills.
finds her voice while yelling at Kyle to get up. Because Sarah's like, get up, soldier, and like fights. I'm like, that's the Sarah Connor voice I know, and I know from all these other movies. Instead of frightened, scared little girl, she turned into an army sergeant. And then Kyle Reese gives the ultimate sacrifice to try and kill the Terminator.
His penis.
Yes. He does jam something into the Terminator, but it is a pipe bomb.
A metaphorical penis.
Yes. I have ouchie, I blew up. But you can't stop the Terminator.
Yeah, because I
That
remember.
Terminator is unsettling. Even if it is pretty rough looking at any distance, those close-up shots are quite good.
I remember him crawling through something after
Yeah.
her.
Okay, so Terminator, Torsominator.
I love it. I love it.
Torsominator, cause Kyle Reese pipe bombs the Terminator,
Yes.
and then he gets caught in the explosion. So yeah, Kyle Reese is killed. But reduces the Terminator to the Torsominator.
But Sarah Connor has her leg hurt
Yeah, Sarah also is injured.
from shrapnel.
Right. So Sarah can't really walk. So they crawl through, and earlier in the sequence, she had bumped this button that ran this press for, I guess, one cycle and just made a bunch of noise. And she crawls through the press and gets out on the other side and pushes the button that she accidentally pushed earlier, and crushes the Terminator.
Torsominator.
Yes. The Torsominator's power cell explodes. Human dies. Credits.
Yeah, that would happen like that in the future.
Yeah,
See
in
future
like
movies
T3,
like that.
where that's like a part of the plot is,
Yeah.
oh yeah, here, use my fuel cell, and blow some shit up, it's...
Yeah, I feel like that was a plot of most other Terminators after this, except for like this and 2, because 2 was the liquid Terminator.
Right. Yeah, 2 they had to melt it.
Yeah. You're a terminated fucker. How did that not become a thing? I wish that had become a thing instead of some of the other lines I said earlier.
You're terminated, fucker. Hey, you little piece of shit. You're fucking done.
I was like, that line's great. How come that one wasn't like a popular thing? And then
Was
I
that
have
not rated R enough?
I don't know. I just wanted it more Terminator movies. I'm like, your Terminator fucker needs to have been a constant recurring thing that like the other lines. And then we find out that Sarah's pregnant at the end of the movie and is running through Mexico?
The moral of the story, once is all it takes, or always head to Mexico.
My note is, Kyle Reese is the epitome of America's deadbeat dad. He came from the future, lays the girl, dies, all in one night.
That doesn't sound like a deadbeat to me. That sounds like an overachieving dad to me.
Yeah.
In 4 hours, he achieved the goals of dad. But then just abandons him. And then he's raised by his son.
Like, who's his parents?
Kyle Reese was a found orphan from after the D-Day, he says.
Yeah, Kyle Reese. It's not that he was but he was orphaned in the war.
Yeah.
So why was he chosen to get sent back?
Because he
volunteered.
John Connor's dad, and he volunteered.
He volunteered.
So he knew he was John Connor's dad.
No, he didn't. It is implied in this movie
that John Connor knew.
John Connor knew that Kyle Reese was his father.
Because at the end, she's making Sarah Connor's making tapes for John Connor, and one of them was like, "Oh, your father, you need to send Kyle Reese back here, so that you can be born."
So that you can be born, so that mom can get a future Dickens.
She says,
says it more eloquently.
What should like at this point? My question is what should I tell you about him? Should I tell you anything? Will that affect your decision to send him back? But she's like, no, I'll tell you about him because I owe him that much.
Mm-hmm. The 4 hours I knew him, I know his entire life story.
Guess he was a talker. He was a chatty Cathy.
He was a cuddler, after sex cuddler.
Yeah, just be like, he was a little clingy. Like, not gonna lie. Don't
Stage
know
5
if your
clear.
guy would have made it, but you know what I mean. He was here for 4 hours, and boy, did he not let me out of his sight.
I really wanted some
cuddles.
space. I really wanted some space. But that's all I had on the movie. And then the creepy photograph is taken in Mexico that Kyle Reese has of Sarah Connor.
It's not the creepy photo, but the
photo that made her fall in love, that made him fall in love.
The photo that he fell in love with. What she was thinking about was him, of course.
Ooh. I gotta look at Terminator 1 photo.
Terminator 1 photo.
I guarantee you'll find it. I'll find it.
It'll be a lot of pictures of Arnold Schwarzenegger. But that's all I have. Ken, do you have anything else?
Nope.
So, let two of us robot punch this movie?
Ken, Elijah, are you guys ready to robot punch?
Sure.
Ew, don't ever say it like that again.
I'll do it however the fuck I want.
That was a horrible.
Do you want to go, Ken, or me?
It doesn't really matter to me.
I'll go.
Okay.
This movie's very middle ground movie. It's fine. It brings Arnold Schwarzenegger to the action movie front. Because I think this started his action movie career, did it?
Well, how,
No, wasn't he filming Conan as well?
Was he filming what? I'm sorry.
Conan was Conan first, or was this first?
Conan was first. I know that.
Yeah, so
It's an action movie.
Let me double check before I quote myself wrong.
Before I quote myself wrong,
Don't do
let
it.
me double check.
Better.
I'm looking at the Sarah Connor photo.
Yeah, he was filming the sequel to Conan at the same time as this one. So his first movie was Conan the Barbarian. Then his second movie is Conan the Destroyer and the Terminator.
Ah.
So I think those. So this is one of those movies that did lead him to be an action movie, like mega.
yeah, I feel like this movie is the movie that made him a household name.
Yeah,
I don't think as
that's the word I'm searching for.
interesting and weird as Conan is.
You don't think that was a household? He was a household name.
He was a household name before the. Actually, it was probably T2, but
This started him into more of that stuff. Because I think T2 was in the 90s.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think Arnold Schwarzenegger was even a household name.
Commando is in '85.
And then what about Predator?
Yeah.
Predator's in like 90s.
Yeah, so it's Conan,
87.
Terminator, Red Sonja.
Yeah. Well, either way, I'm telling you guys. I think for Arnold
And
Schwarzenegger,
then Predator in '87. The Running Man.
Dude, I don't think.
Twins. Total Recall, Kindergarten Cop, Terminator 2. So yeah, it was Terminator was his
jumping off point
gateway to conventional action movies.
Mm-hmm.
I think Arnold Schwarzenegger's, I think what made him a household name was when he was Dr. Freeze, or,
in the late 90s, Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, Mr. Freeze.
He's got so many great puns.
Time for you all to chill.
I think that's what made him a household name. I think before that he was just not as popular. Who really ever heard of Arnold?
Sure thing, Lewis. Now I believe you're talking out your ass.
Lewis? No, never.
But this movie's fun. It's like I said earlier, it's one of my middle ground Terminator movies, so I had to give it like a 3 because it's fine, but it's one of those that I hadn't rewatched since I had watched it for like the first time, and I was like, oh, I get this. But I can rewatch Terminator 2 anytime people want to watch Terminator 2. So a solid 3.
Okay.
Ken, you're
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with Elijah. This movie does not age as well as T2 from what I remember. And part of that is because they have to do all of the effects practically. So anytime it's like, oh, that's a fake hand. Oh, that's a fake Arnie face. You notice it. You see it.
Uh-huh.
But there's like I totally get why this I shouldn't say I totally get, but I understand why this franchise is what it is. Why it's sort of the like why they keep trying, why they keep going back to this well to try and do this again, because this movie really is like this sort of action horror thing, real with the villains, really is kind of special, and it's not something that we, it's tough to do, and it's tough to make compelling and fun and watchable. So this movie is like I said, it's special, and I get it. But that being said, it doesn't age super well. It's not to say it ages horribly, but it doesn't age especially well. So yeah, I think I agree with Elijah's 3.
Yeah, it definitely started a franchise that I don't know if it ever really finds its footing. And it's an interesting thing to see just all of that happening. Like you could see the blueprints for the next movies in this movie. And because we got all the exposition out in this movie, the next movie can be more action. And now the Terminator is a helpful guy, and
he's into pop culture.
I don't know about that. But
A little bit. Well, no, Kyle Reese is into John Connor is into pop culture.
But yeah. For news-wise, I have breaking news for the day.
Breaking news!
Breaking news for the day.
Yeah, there's news today.
Ooh!
As of today, Warner Brothers is laying off from DC Comics. 650 people are being laid off from DC Warner Brothers shows and staff and various other things.
That's breaking news.
I'm trying to find some bigger articles on this, but everyone on the internet is ablaze with hoping and wishing things luck.
What? Like, why did they lay so many people off?
They're restructuring Warner Brothers. And because DC Comics is owned in the face of everything.
Yeah, I was in the face of the COVIDs and whatnot.
Probably. They're going to instantly drop DC Universe streaming service. Everything will go to
that's been
everything will go to
speculated.
HBO.
Yeah,
That's
that people have been speculating that for a while.
Yeah.
That the
What,
DC
everything's going to
streaming service
HBO?
would go away, and all of that would just roll into
HBO.
HBO Go.
Oh, that's awesome.
DC's seeing
Well, it's
layoffs.
good for consumers. It's not necessarily good for, DC employees.
Yeah.
But yeah, it says massive 650 layoff, with the emphasis on Warner Brothers is now happening as of today.
Oof.
That's horrible.
Laid off employees include Warner Brothers CFO Kim Williams, who's the president of television distribution, and the president of worldwide theatrical distribution was also laid off, Ron Sanders. They're doing major restructuring for all of these channels, which include TBS, TNT, True TV, and then they're going to be divided between such studios, because of also the Hollywood layoffs and furloughs that have affected agencies like the CACA, Endeavor, and studios like Universal, Disney, and Lionsgate. And then they list a whole bunch of other people that have been laid off.
Oof.
You think it's because of the? You think it's because like?
It literally says it's because of COVID-19.
You think it could have been handled? Do you think if we would have, quarantined and been ahead of our thing, you think this could have been prevented?
I'm not digging too deep into that, but if we had all done different things, because people want to listen to this podcast to find some joy. So I'm going to just say my piece of, if I feel like if everyone had done their part a little bit, it would have done something. But it also, because there's no content, movies are suffering. Because Warner Brothers has not found a decent streaming service until now with HBO, they suffered. Whereas like in the beginning of this, Disney had Disney Plus, everything, and like, so it had that to back up on. And Universal was doing their thing with the premium
Peacock.
online thing. whereas Warner Brothers was kind of sitting there to the side, going, "Okay, what are we gonna do?" And they never really got that far. So that's as far as I could say on that. But in other news, also as of today, the new Tron movie has found a director and a lead.
Yay!
Sweet. Who's gonna play Flynn this time?
Do you want to take a stab in the dark? I could tell you he played in a DC Comics movie.
Ben Affleck!
No, it's gonna be Jordan B. Michael.
Nope.
No, you said in a DC movie?
Think terrible.
Robert
Think
Pattinson!
Think
No. Fantastic Four?
No.
That's
Ben
Marvel.
Affleck.
No. Think the worst part about Suicide Squad.
Jared Leto!
Jared Leto is is the lead in the new Tron movie.
Oh gosh.
I feel like I heard that. I feel like I knew that already.
I knew a thing, Elijah! I knew a thing!
And the director is Helmer Garth Davis, who directed such Academy Award-winning nominated films as as Lion and other projects that I don't have up at the moment.
I'm so proud of me.
Wow. Seriously, Jared Leto, you're...
Yep.
I hope he doesn't
directed
drool.
He directed Mary Magdalene, Lion, and now the new Tron's movie.
Ugh.
Tron 3 he will be directing with Jared Leto as Ares. Jared Leto will be playing Ares, is what the only thing I have on that.
Well, wait. Does that make him the lead, or does that make him the new?
He called the lead.
Boo. Okay.
Should I expect terrible things?
In these articles, he's called the lead.
Should I expect terrible things?
Possibly.
I should also watch the previous Tron movie.
Yes, because Tron 2 is pretty good.
Yeah, Tron
2
Legacy
is really good.
I enjoy Tron Legacy. So. But that is all I have for entertainment news.
We have entertainment.
That we do.
We have 2
Tyler,
episodes up now.
Do you want to pimp the YouTube channel?
Go to our YouTube channel.
Thank you.
Anyway, everybody,
But-
go to our YouTube channel. It's pretty great. It's got all our stuff on it.
We will actually be recording episode 3 here very shortly. In the next few days to get that up and going. So we'll have that. We'll have our
Look for
third Heat and Homestead video up. Hopefully the quality of production and cinematography keeps getting better. It was a little bit better the second episode, so we're looking to improve that as we go.
There we go.
It's hard to do when you're just one person and there's no spectator cam, but we do what we can here. I like to do things on the cheap and cheap.
Hey, it works.
Yeah.
Well, until we're making money on this, it's hard to do.
That's
anything
kind of
that's
my
not
thought.
On the cheap and cheap.
Yeah, I looked at Adobe Premiere today, and it's a subscription. It's not a buy it once and use it. It's the kind of thing.
Right.
So
all the Adobe stuff is an.
Oh, I have Adobe. I have Adobe for 20. I have the Adobe suite.
Well, there
like
you go,
the
Tyler.
Pro. You Pro?
Yeah, the Adobe Cloud. Yeah, I only pay. Yeah, I do my Photoshop on. Yeah, I have the whole suite.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
Yeah.
Get that from
Yeah,
play with.
yeah,
Go play with Lewis, Tyler.
I'm gonna diddle his Adobe so hard.
But yeah, we'll eventually get that Patreon up after this all and all that stuff. But for now, check out our website at www.thepostermanpodcast.com. Send us an emails to thepostermanpodcast@gmail.com. Check us out on Twitter at thepostermanpod. Find us on Instagram at thepostermanpodcast. Find us on Facebook at The Posterman Podcast. And check us out on the app Letterboxd at The Posterman Pod. And so you can see all the movies that I have watched and slight star reviews and some written reviews.
Did you say YouTube?
No, I left YouTube for you. That's why we did YouTube first.
Oh.
Dummy.
I didn't really say what the name is.
Because I don't have that written down. So
I know
saved
you
it.
don't.
Posterman. Just search for the Posterman on YouTube.
Do it.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe. I put our podcast on there also.
Click that notification icon to get notifications when we make new posts.
Yep. And you can
Do it.
join all the fun.
Do it.
Do it. And you can join in all the fun of those videos. And Tyler puts in little things in the podcast clip, which is pretty fun to look at.
The podcasts are actually pretty good to watch. Tyler doesn't do a boatload of stuff with them, but he does add cool little clips and touches and stuff. They're very well done.
Trying to make them a little interesting, so if you're just sitting here and you need something to stare at, you can stare at it. And
like when we talked about the McDonald's guys, he threw up the McDonald's guys.
And gooey your eyeballs.
Nice.
Get your eyeballs nice and dried out from looking at our podcast.
But yeah. Oh, and buy our merch.
We have a t-shirt.
We do. And we're creating another shirt. Tyler's creating it.
I'm working on it.
Tyler's creating a shirt?
Actually, now that I know Lewis has Photoshop, I'm probably going to delegate to Lewis.
Oh, okay. Then Lewis is going to create another shirt.
I can tell him afterwards. All right.
Yep.
We'll come up with the shirt name later.
Yep. We'll talk to you then, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Good night, everybody.